Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. And today, we are going to learn how to not just dance, but to choreograph an entire performance in the midst of life's downpours. You see, giving up is easy. It's the path of least resistance. But let me ask you this. Have you ever seen anything truly remarkable come from taking the easy way out? No, my friends. Greatness is forged in the furnace of persistence. Now, I want you to imagine for a moment that you are climbing a mountain. It's steep, it's treacherous, and every step feels like you are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. Your muscles are screaming, your lungs are burning, and that little voice in your head is whispering, maybe it's time to turn back. That voice, it's a liar. It's the voice of mediocrity, of settling, of a life half lived. And you, my friends, you were not put on this earth to be mediocre. So what do you do when that voice starts chirping? You look it dead in the eye and you say, not today, not ever. Because the moment you decide that giving up is not an option, you have already won half the battle. Let me share a little story with you. There was once a young man who dreamed of becoming a writer. He spent years honing his craft, pouring his heart and soul onto paper. And when he finally finished his first novel, he was on top of the world, until the rejection letters started pouring in. One publisher after another told him his work was not good enough. 12 rejections, 20, 50, 100. Can you imagine the gut-wrenching feeling of being told 100 times that your dream is not worth pursuing? Now, most people would have given up. They would tuck that manuscript away in a drawer and resign themselves to a life of what-ifs. But not this young man. He looked at those rejection letters and said, I won't ever give up. And you know what happened? Publisher, number 121, said yes. That book went on to sell millions of copies and launch a spectacular career. All because one person refused to let rejection define his worth. That, my friends, is the power of perseverance. It's the magic that happens when you decide that your dreams are not negotiable. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but what if I'm not that talented? What if I'm not special? Let me stop you right there. Talent is overrated. Genius is overrated. You know what's underrated? Determination. The sheer bullheaded refusal to stay down when life knocks you flat. I have seen people with all the natural talent in the world amount to nothing because they could not handle a little adversity. And I have seen people with seemingly no advantages climb to the top of their field through sheer force of will. Success is not about avoiding failure. It's about failing forward. It's about getting knocked down 7 times and staying up 8. It's about looking at every setback as a setup for a comeback. Let's talk about comfort zones for a moment. They are nice, are not they? Cozy, safe, predictable, and absolutely deadly to your dreams. Nothing great ever came from a comfort zone. The Wright brothers did not achieve flight by staying on the ground. Thomas Edison did not invent the light bulb by sitting in the dark. Your comfort zone is like a beautiful garden with high walls. Sure, it's pleasant inside, but you have never seen the wonders that lie beyond if you don't scale those walls. So I challenge you, do something every day that scares you. Take that class you've been putting off. Start that business you've been dreaming about. Have that difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Because on the other side of fear is where the magic happens. We have been conditioned to see failure as the end of the road. But I'm here to tell you that failure is just a pit stop on the highway to success. Did you know that Henry Ford's first 2 automobile companies failed before he founded Ford Motor Company? Or that Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination? These men did not see failure as a signal to give up. They saw that as a stepping stone to greatness. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. It's the universe's way of pointing you in a new direction. It's life's greatest teacher, If only we have the courage to stay in class and learn the lesson. So the next time you fall short, I want you to do something counterintuitive. I want you to celebrate. Yes, you heard me right. Celebrate your failures. Because each failure is proof that you are pushing your boundaries, that you are daring greatly, that you are in the arena instead of sitting in the stands. And speaking of the arena, in today's world, it's easy to get caught up in comparing ourselves to others. Social media has turned life into a highlight reel, and we often find ourselves measuring our behind the scenes against someone else's carefully curated public image. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Your journey is unique, your path is your own, and the moment you stop competing with others and start competing with yourself is the moment you start making real progress. Imagine if Michael Jordan had given up basketball because he was not immediately the best player on his high school team. Imagine if Steve Jobs had abandoned his vision for Apple because someone told him personal computers would never catch on. These people did not achieve greatness by measuring themselves against others. They achieved it by consistently pushing their own limits, by refusing to settle for anything less than their best. So I want you to make a pact with yourself right now. Promise that from this day forward, you will be your own yardstick, your own competition, your own motivation. Goals are the fuel that keeps the fire of perseverance burning. Without clear, defined goals, we are just wandering aimlessly, hoping to stumble upon success. It's not enough to just have goals. You need to have the right kind of goals. Goals that stretch you, that scare you a little, that make you say, can I really do that? Because if your goals don't scare you, they are not big enough. I want you to dream so big it makes your palms sweat. I want you to set goals so audacious that people look at you like you have lost your mind. Because those are the kinds of goals that ignite passion, that fuel determination, that make you say, I won't ever give up, even when the odds seem insurmountable. But dreaming big is not enough. You need to back those dreams with action. A goal without a plan is just a wish. So once you have set those audacious goals, break them down into smaller, actionable steps. Create a roadmap to your dreams. Focus on progress, not perfection. Too often, we get paralyzed by the enormity of our goals. We think we need to make giant leaps, when in reality, success is built on small, consistent steps forward. If your goal is to write a book, don't focus on writing 300 pages. Focus on writing 1 page a day. If you want to run a marathon, don't think about the full 26.2 miles. Think about running 1 more minute than you did yesterday. These small victories compound over time. They build momentum. They create habits. And habits, my friends, are the building blocks of success. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. And the good news is you get to choose which one it will be. Perseverance is not just about actions. It's about beliefs. It's about the stories we tell ourselves. If you believe you are destined for mediocrity, guess what? You have found a way to be mediocre. But if you believe you are capable of greatness, you have found a way to be great. This is not some new age feel-good nonsense. This is scientific fact. Our brains are incredibly powerful, and they work tirelessly to prove our beliefs right. It's called confirmation bias. If you believe you can't do something, your brain will find all the evidence to support that belief. But if you believe you can, your brain will work just as hard to prove that true. So I challenge you to become aware of your self-talk. What stories are you telling yourself? Are they empowering you or limiting you? Are they pushing you forward or holding you back? If you catch yourself thinking, I can't, I want you to immediately counter it with, how can I? If you find yourself saying it's too hard, replace it with, it's challenging, and I'm up for the challenge. Remember, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. So choose to think you can. Choose to believe in your potential. Choose to see obstacles as opportunities for growth. Rest? Yes, you heard me right. Rest? It might seem counterintuitive, but rest is a crucial part of not giving up. Perseverance is not about running yourself into the ground. It's not about burning the candle at both ends until there's nothing left. That's not perseverance. That's a recipe for burnout. True perseverance is about sustainability. It's about finding a pace you can maintain for the long haul, because success, real success, is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And if you want to finish a marathon, you need to know when to push and when to recover. So don't feel guilty about taking breaks. Don't beat yourself up for needing downtime. Rest is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. It's an investment in your long-term success. Use your rest periods to recharge, to gain perspective, to remind yourself why you started this journey in the first place. Because sometimes stepping back is what allows you to leap forward. Adaptability. The ability to adapt is what separates those who succeed from those who stagnate. Because here's the truth. The path to success is rarely a straight line. It's full of twists and turns, unexpected detours, and sudden roadblocks. The key is to be like water. Water doesn't stop when it encounters an obstacle. It finds a way around it. It adapts to its environment. It keeps flowing, keeps moving forward no matter what. So, when you encounter setbacks, and you will encounter setbacks, don't see them as stop signs. See them as detours, as opportunities to find a new path, to learn, to grow. Maybe your first business idea doesn't pan out. That's not a sign to give up on entrepreneurship. It's a chance to refine your approach, to identify what worked and what did not, to come back stronger and smarter. Maybe you don't get that promotion you were hoping for. That's not a reason to give up on your career aspirations. It's an opportunity to seek feedback, to develop new skills, to prove your worth in new ways. Adaptability is not about changing your destination. It's about being flexible in how you get there. It's about being willing to take a different road when the one you planned is blocked. And here's the beautiful thing about adaptability. It not only helps you overcome obstacles, but it also opens you up to new opportunities you might never have considered. Some of the greatest success stories in history came from people who were willing to pivot, to see potential where others saw dead ends. So embrace change. Welcome challenges. See them not as barriers to your goals, but as chances to become even better equipped to achieve them. Something that's absolutely crucial to perseverance, your environment. You have probably heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And let me tell you, there's a lot of truth to that. The people around you have an enormous impact on your mindset, your motivation, and your ability to persevere. Surround yourself with negative people who are always complaining, always making excuses. And guess what? You have found yourself doing the same. But surround yourself with positive, driven individuals who refuse to give up, and you have find their attitude rubbing off on you. Their energy will fuel your own. Their success will inspire you to push harder. So take a good hard look at your circle. Are the people around you lifting you up or dragging you down? Are they encouraging your dreams or dismissing them? Are they pushing you to be your best self or enabling your worst habits? Now, I'm not saying you need to cut people out of your life, but you do need to be intentional about who you allow to influence you. Seek out mentors who have achieved what you want to achieve. Join communities of like-minded individuals who are on similar journeys. Engage with content, books, podcasts, seminars that reinforce your commitment to perseverance. And here's something crucial. Be that positive influence for others. Because when you lift others up, you lift yourself up too. When you encourage others to persevere, you strengthen your own resolve. Create an environment of perseverance around you, and you find it much easier to keep going when times get tough. At the importance of celebration. Yes, celebration, because perseverance is not just about gritting your teeth and pushing through hardship. It's also about acknowledging your progress, no matter how small. Too often, we are so focused on the end goal that we forget to appreciate how far we have come. We discount our small victories, our daily progress, because we haven't reached the finish line yet. But that's a surefire way to burn out. Remember what we said about small, consistent steps? Well, each of those steps deserves recognition. Each day that you choose to keep going, to stay committed to your goals despite challenges, is a victory worth celebrating. So I want you to make celebration a habit. Did you stick to your workout routine this week? Celebrate it. Did you make that sales call you have been putting off? Celebrate it. Did you write one more page of your book? You better believe that's worth celebrating. These celebrations don't have to be grand gestures. Maybe it's treating yourself to your favorite coffee. Maybe it's taking a moment to simply acknowledge your progress and feel proud of yourself. The important thing is that you are reinforcing your progress. You are associating your perseverance. Perseverance is not just about willpower. It's about creating positive feedback loops that keep you motivated, that make the journey enjoyable, not just the destination. So celebrate your wins, big and small. Use those celebrations as fuel to keep going, as reminders of why you started this journey in the first place. Something that's absolutely crucial to maintaining your perseverance, your why, your purpose, the deep-seated reason behind your goals and dreams. When times get tough, and they will get tough, it's your why that will keep you going. It's your purpose that will pull you through those moments of doubt, those dark nights of the soul when giving up seems like the only option. So I want you to dig deep. Why are you on this journey? Why is this goal important to you? And I mean really important, not just surface level important. Is it to provide a better life for your family? Is it to make a difference in your community? Is it to prove to yourself that you are capable of greatness? Whatever it is, make sure it's something that resonates with you on a profound level. Because when your why is strong enough, you have found a how. The beautiful thing about having a strong why, it transforms the way you see challenges. When you are deeply connected to your purpose, obstacles stop being roadblocks and start being opportunities to prove your commitment. Long hours stop being a burden and start being an investment in your dreams. Setbacks stop being failures and start being lessons that are making you stronger, smarter, better equipped to achieve your goals. So take some time to really connect with your why. Write it down, visualize it, feel it in your bones. And when times get tough, when you feel like giving up, come back to that why. Let it reignite your passion, your determination, your refusal to give up. Now let's address something that's often misunderstood when it comes to perseverance, the role of failure. We have touched on this before, but it's worth diving deeper. Failure is not just something to be tolerated on the path to success. It's an essential part of the journey. Every failure is a data point. It's valuable information about what doesn't work, which brings you one step closer to finding out what does. Thomas Edison, when asked about his many failed attempts to create the light bulb, famously said, "I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the mindset of a true innovator, of someone who understands that perseverance is not about avoiding failure. It's about using failure as a stepping stone. So I want you to start reframing your failures. Instead of seeing them as evidence that you are not good enough, see them as proof that you are pushing your boundaries. Instead of letting them discourage you, let them inform you. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to improve? Remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It's a crucial part of success. It's the price of admission for achieving anything worthwhile. In today's world of instant gratification, patience has become something of a lost art. We want success and we want it now. But real, lasting success doesn't work that way. How long does it take for a mighty oak to grow from a tiny acorn? Years, decades. But once it's grown, it stands tall and strong, able to weather any storm. Your dreams, your goals, they're like that oak tree. They need time to grow, to develop strong roots. And during that growing period, it might seem like nothing is happening. You might feel like you are not making progress. But trust me, beneath the surface, incredible things are happening. You are developing skills, gaining experience, building resilience. All of these things are essential for long-term success. So be patient with yourself. Be patient with the process. Understand that overnight success is a myth. What looks like an overnight success to the outside world is almost always the result of years of hard work, persistence, and yes, patience. Remember, the best things in life, the most valuable, the most rewarding, take time. They require investment. They demand perseverance, but they are absolutely worth the wait. Self-doubt, that little voice in your head that whispers, maybe you are not good enough. Maybe you should just give up. Let me tell you something. That voice, it's a liar. It's fear talking. It's your comfort zone trying to pull you back into mediocrity. Self-doubt, that little voice in your head that whispers, maybe you are not good enough. Maybe you should just give up. So how do you deal with self-doubt? First, recognize it for what it is, a feeling, not a fact. Just because you feel like you can't do something doesn't mean it's true. Second, use it as fuel. Let that self-doubt motivate you to prove yourself wrong. Every time you push through self-doubt and take action anyway, you are building confidence. You are proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. And finally, surround yourself with evidence of your capability. Keep a record of your achievements, no matter how small. Collect testimonials from people who believe in you. Create a physical reminder of why you started this journey in the first place. You are capable of amazing things. You have untapped potential within you. And the only way to discover the full extent of that potential is to keep pushing, keep persevering, even when self-doubt tries to hold you back. Self-care. Too often, we think of perseverance as a constant grind, pushing ourselves to the limit day in and day out. But that's not sustainable. It's not healthy, and ultimately, it's not effective. True perseverance, the kind that leads to lasting success, involves taking care of yourself along the way. It's about finding balance, about recharging your batteries so you can keep going for the long haul. This means taking care of your physical health, eating well, exercising regularly, getting enough sleep. These aren't luxuries. They are necessities. They are what allow you to show up each day ready to give your all. It also means taking care of your mental health, practicing mindfulness, managing stress, allowing yourself time for hobbies and relationships. These things aren't distractions from your goals. They are what give you the mental resilience to keep pursuing those goals. Remember, perseverance is not about burning yourself out. It's about finding a sustainable pace, a rhythm that allows you to keep moving forward day after day, year after year. So make self-care a priority. Schedule it into your day just like you would any other important task. Because taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's an essential part of your journey to success. In a world that celebrates overnight successes and dramatic transformations, it's easy to discount the value of small, consistent steps forward. Most significant achievements are the result of consistent, incremental progress over time. It's not about making huge leaps. It's about taking small steps every single day. Think about it like compound interest. If you invest a small amount regularly, over time, it grows into something substantial. The same principle applies to your goals and dreams. Maybe you can't write an entire book in a day, but you can write a page. You might not be able to transform your body overnight, but you can do one workout. You may not be able to start $1 million business immediately, but you can take one small action to move your business forward. These small actions might not seem significant in the moment. You might feel like you're not making progress, but over time they add up. They compound. And before you know it, you have achieved things you once thought were impossible. So focus on progress, not perfection. Celebrate those small wins. Recognize that every tiny step forward is moving you closer to your goals. Because perseverance is not about making giant leaps. It's about having the consistency to keep putting one foot in front of the other day after day, no matter what. Without a clear vision of what you are working towards, it's easy to lose your way, to get discouraged when the going gets tough. Your vision is like the North Star. It guides you, keeps you on track. reminds you why you are pushing so hard. It's what gets you out of bed in the morning and keeps you going when you feel like giving up. So I want you to take some time to really clarify your vision. What does success look like to you? And I mean really look like. Not some vague notion of being successful, but a vivid, detailed picture of what you are working towards. If your goal is to start a business, envision what that business looks like when it's thriving. See yourself in your office making important decisions. Imagine the impact you are having on your customers, your employees, your community. If you are working towards a fitness goal, visualize yourself at your target weight or fitness level. How do you feel? What can you do that you couldn't before? How has your life changed? Make this vision as detailed and vivid as possible. Engage all your senses. The more real you can make it in your mind, the more powerful it becomes as a motivational tool. Come back to this vision regularly, especially when times are tough. Let it remind you why you started this journey in the first place. Let it reignite your passion and your determination. Because when you have a powerful vision pulling you forward, perseverance becomes not just possible, but inevitable. You have found strength you did not know you had because you can see so clearly what you are working towards. Life has a funny way of throwing curveballs at us. Plans change, circumstances shift, and if we are too rigid in our approach, we risk breaking under the pressure. But if we can learn to be flexible, to adapt our strategies while keeping our eyes on the ultimate goal, we become unstoppable. Because true perseverance is not about blindly pushing forward in the face of any obstacle. It's about being smart enough to recognize when we need to change our approach. Think about some of the most successful companies in the world. Many of them started out doing something completely different from what made them famous. They were able to succeed because they were willing to pivot, to adapt their strategies based on what they learned along the way. The same principle applies to your personal goals. Maybe you start out on one career path, only to discover a passion for something else. That's not failure. That's growth. That's you becoming more aligned with your true purpose. So don't be afraid to adjust your course as you go. Be open to new opportunities, new approaches, new ways of reaching your goals. The path to success is rarely a straight line. It's more often a winding road with unexpected turns and detours. Your job is to keep moving forward, to keep your eyes on the ultimate destination, even if the path to get there looks different than you initially imagined. Remember, flexibility is strength. The oak tree that cannot bend in the wind will eventually break, but the willow that can bend and sway survives even the harshest storms. So be like the willow. Be strong in your resolve, but flexible in your approach. That's the key to true, lasting perseverance. In our hustle culture, we often glorify the idea of working nonstop, of pushing ourselves to the limit day in and day out. Sustainable perseverance is not about running yourself into the ground. It's about finding a rhythm that allows you to keep going for the long haul. If you're on a long road trip, you don't drive 24 hours a day. You take breaks, you rest, you refuel. Because if you don't, you have eventually break down. The same principle applies to your journey towards your goals. Rest is not a sign of weakness. It's a crucial part of the process. It's what allows you to come back stronger, more focused, more determined. This doesn't just mean physical rest, although that's certainly important. It also means mental and emotional rest, taking time to recharge, to reconnect with your why, to remind yourself of how far you have come. So build rest and recovery into your plan. Schedule it just like you would any other important task, because that's what it is, an important, necessary part of your journey to success. Remember, perseverance is not about sprinting. It's about running a marathon. And in a marathon, pacing yourself is key. Your mindset is like the operating system of your brain. It determines how you interpret challenges, how you respond to setbacks, how you approach your goals. And when it comes to perseverance, there's one type of mindset that stands above all others. This is the belief that your abilities, your intelligence, your talents, they are not fixed traits. They can be developed through effort, good strategies, and input from others. People with a growth mindset see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. They view effort as the path to mastery. They learn from criticism instead of ignoring it. They find lessons and inspiration in the success of others. This mindset is absolutely crucial for perseverance, because when you believe that you can grow, that you can improve, that you can overcome obstacles through effort and learning, giving up simply is not an option. So, how do you develop a growth mindset? It starts with awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts. When you face a challenge, do you think I can't do this, or do you think I can't do this yet? That little word "yet" makes all the difference. Then, it's about reframing. Instead of seeing failures as proof that you are not good enough, see them as opportunities to learn. Instead of avoiding challenges, seek them out as chances to grow. And finally, it's about action. Embrace challenges. Put in the effort, seek out feedback and learn from it. Celebrate your growth and the growth of others. With a growth mindset, perseverance is not just possible, it's inevitable. When you truly believe in your ability to grow and improve, to overcome obstacles through effort and learning, there's nothing that can stop you. Let's talk about the role of community in perseverance. We often think of perseverance as a solitary endeavor, a test of individual will and determination. And while there's certainly truth to that, the reality is that none of us succeed in a vacuum. Having a supportive community around, you can make all the difference in your ability to persevere. These are the people who believe in you when you doubt yourself, who encourage you when you are feeling down, who celebrate your victories, no matter how small. But it's not just about receiving support. Being part of a community also gives you the opportunity to support others. And there's something incredibly powerful about that. When you encourage someone else to keep going, you are also reminding yourself of the importance of perseverance. So seek out communities that align with your goals and values. This could be a formal group like a mastermind or a professional association. Or it could be more informal, a group of friends who share similar ambitions. And if you can't find the right community, create one. Reach out to people who inspire you. Share your journey. Be vulnerable about your struggles and your successes. Perseverance may be an individual choice, but it thrives in community. When we come together, when we support each other, when we share our experiences and our wisdom, we all become stronger. Remember, the path to success is rarely walked alone, so build your tribe. Nurture those relationships. Let them be a source of strength and inspiration on your journey. Too often, we are so focused on the end goal that we forget to acknowledge how far we have come. We discount our small victories, our daily progress, because we haven't reached the finish line yet. Those small victories, they are the fuel that keeps you going. They are what build your confidence, what keep you motivated when times get tough. So I want you to make celebration a habit. Did you stick to your workout routine this week? Celebrate it. Did you make that sales call you have been putting off? Celebrate it. Did you write one more page of your book? You better believe that's worth celebrating. These celebrations don't have to be grand gestures. Maybe it's treating yourself to your favorite coffee. Maybe it's taking a moment to simply acknowledge your progress and feel proud of yourself. The important thing is that you are reinforcing your progress. You are associating your perseverance with positive emotions. Perseverance is not just about gritting your teeth and pushing through hardship. It's also about finding joy in the journey, about recognizing and celebrating your growth along the way. So take the time to acknowledge your progress. Keep a journal of your wins, no matter how small. Share your victories with your support network. Let those celebrations fuel your continued perseverance. Remember, every step forward, no matter how small, is moving you closer to your goals. And that's always worth celebrating. We often think that being hard on ourselves, pushing ourselves relentlessly, is the key to perseverance. But the truth is, self-compassion is a far more powerful motivator. Self-compassion is not about making excuses or letting yourself off the hook. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a good friend. When you make a mistake, instead of beating yourself up, try to approach it with curiosity and kindness. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow? When you are struggling, instead of pushing yourself harder, try to be understanding. Acknowledge that what you are doing is difficult. Remind yourself that struggle is a normal part of the growth process. When you are compassionate with yourself, you create a safe environment for growth and learning. You are more likely to take risks, to push your boundaries, because you know that even if you fail, you won't berate yourself for it. Self-compassion gives you the resilience to bounce back from setbacks. It gives you the courage to keep going when things get tough. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a crucial component of true, lasting perseverance. So practice being kind to yourself. Treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer a friend, because the journey of perseverance is challenging enough without making yourself your own worst enemy.